Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're doing good. In this video, I'm actually willing to explain the old acquisition process and the new acquisition process. So if I'm ever able to get some of your attention, 10-20 minutes, let it be this time, because this video is gonna change the whole perspective on your whole client acquisition process, okay? I'll guarantee you that, because what I'm gonna explain in this video is actually how to make sure that you become rich and stay rich forever. I can promise you that whenever you put in the action on what I'm going to tell you within this video, you're going to be a millionaire. It just takes time, right? But I'll explain in this video, right? So the old acquisition process that a lot of people use is they have a funnel, right? So there could be, they run ads or they have an outbound campaign, right? What I should recommend is always use an outbound campaign, because whenever you're going to run ads, you don't have to control yourself. Facebook has to control. You have control over the data, and you can, based on the data, you can make different decisions. So you can optimize it, but you don't have control over the actual actions. And you do have that with an outbound campaign, right? So whenever you, let's say you're going to do profile optimization, you're going to get access to thousands of leads within an audience. You're going to leverage paid audiences, optimize the outreach message, right? And then you're going to send the DMs, 200 to 300 messages a day. You're going to have the conversation and people give attention, right? People give you attention because you're going to have a conversation. You're going to book the call and you probably close someone, or maybe not. You know, what are you going to do when you are not able to close someone? What most people do is they're actually putting them in the trash. That means that they're just making sure that they don't become part of something that you own. Right? You're going to put them in the trash and you're never going to speak to them again. So that means that this acquisition process will get you rich. But whenever you not perform, whenever you don't put in the work, you will not get anything from it. Make sense? So whenever you don't let your VAs do the outreach, or whenever you don't let your growth specialists do the outreach, or like actually perform this funnel, you don't get anything. Makes sense? So there, within those four things, people can lose attention, right? So let's say within this structure, whenever people lose attention is by the first message. Let's say they saw it, but they didn't reply. Within here, they stopped having a conversation with you in the middle of a conversation, right? Whenever they booked a call, they didn't show up, right? Whenever you are on a sales call, but you were not able to close them, right? So what most people do is maybe following up, but following up is not enough, because what most people do is you follow up, but you're never able to sustain that with sales assets. So what you do is you're going to follow up 2 times, and whenever they don't react again, you're going to let them go. You're never going to speak to them again. But what you do, like that process, what I said, that process will, this whole rep process will get you rich, right? But whenever you stop working on it, it will not generate the desired amount of results for your business. Make sense? So it will generate literally $0. Whenever your VAs don't do any outreach for a year, you're dead, right? Even within a week, you don't have a business anymore. Make sense? So instead of putting all those people in the trash, no matter which funnel you use, instead of like making sure that whenever you have a conversation, you follow up, but then after that you follow up another time, and then after that you do nothing, make sure that you provide them with sales assets, right? Because like what most people do is they stay within this red border, right? What they do is they put all the people in the trash. But what you need to do in order to stay rich forever, and I can guarantee you that if you follow this new acquisition process, you're going to create leverage for yourself, and you're going to literally stay rich forever. There is no way to not stay rich. That's just impossible, because what you're going to do is every time someone is someone is losing their attention, right? Whenever you're not able to hold someone's attention, provide them with sales assets. So what I mean by that is invite them to the Facebook group, send them to your YouTube long form content, send them to your Instagram, right? Because what that creates is an audience that you own, because you own those platforms. Make sense? So that means they're part of something. So that means they're always able to consume more of your content. That means that you're not putting them in the trash, right? And this will create a whole empire over time, right? So that means that whenever you follow this process, what you're able to do is what I said: send them to your Instagram, YouTube long form content, or invite to Facebook group. So what they will become in order, like what they will become, right? Because they're going to be part of something, and that something will be a Facebook group member, a subscriber, a follower, right? So what you actually did is you let them become part of something because they were interested in anything. If you can provide them with one of your sales assets, so they can actually, what you actually do is whenever you're gonna send like a YouTube content, like, you know what, John, I had a great conversation with you. I saw you didn't react anymore. Don't worry about it. Here you go. You get a free YouTube valuable content, right? Whenever you book to call, people don't show up. Makes sense, man. You want to reschedule? Maybe, maybe not. They say no. Okay, sure. Here do you have my YouTube, so you can consume all the content for free. Makes sense? Whenever you're not able to close someone, what you're gonna do is, you know what? I saw you had a struggle with this. Go watch this video. Makes sense? Or join my Facebook group. So make sure that you like let those people become part of something that you own. Because if you're able to like make that happen, you're gonna stay rich forever. Because what you're gonna do is you let them become part of something that you own, because you own those audiences. It's your Instagram, it's your YouTube, it's your Facebook. Makes sense? So provide them with sales assets instead of putting them in the trash and never speak to them again. So what that creates is whenever they join the Facebook group, they need to fill in 3 questions plus their email, right? So the questions could be, you know, what is your desired outcome? What is your current like monthly revenue, whatever? And what is the thing that is holding you back, right? In order for you to perform. And another question could be, are you open for Nick reaching out to you to inform you more about whatever, to give you a free like lead magnet, whatever, right? To give you these scripts on how to perform as a coach or agency owner. They say yes, because nobody says no to free value. Nobody, right? Nobody says no to free value, right? If that makes sense. So that means that instead of putting them in the trash, you're actually repeated this whole process. Because what is going to happen is you're going to provide them with sales assets. They're going to consume that, right? You own the audience. That means that you reach out to them. That means another conversation started. Another DM started. That means another conversation started. And you say, hey, what's up, man? Saw you join the Facebook group. Here's the lead magnet. So here's a video about whatever. Here's a video about how to have the best messaging structure to like increase the booking rate, whatever. Give them the thing, give them give them the biggest solution that they can have for their problem, right? Find out what their biggest problem is, make a solution for that, and give them to that give them your most valuable asset. That makes sense. So whenever you send them the lead magnet, you just actually started another conversation, right? So what you just did is you just repeated this whole process because you were able to let them become part of something instead of putting them in the trash. So let's say you have a whole conversation. You say, you know, you want to book in a call to get to know more about it. And you're able to close them this time because they consume more of your content. Now they're more like an inbound lead instead of an outbound lead. Makes sense? So whenever they consume your content, you know what content does? Content informs the prospect on how to get rid of the inefficiencies within his business. Makes sense? That is exactly what content does. And when you're able to inform people on a solution that, like, if you're able to solve people's problems for free, let me like dictate it that way, because if you're able to give people a solution for their problem for free, they're gonna love you, right? So what is the reason why you're probably watching right now? You know, a couple of you guys will probably reach out to me on Instagram. We'll book in a call. Why? Because you watch my videos. Because you watch videos like this, right? So whenever, like, the power of sales assets is that it informs the prospect on how to get rid of the inefficiencies within his business. If you're able to provide the right solutions, because like, I know that I'm very good at providing the right solutions for a lot of people's problems for free, because I know my content is extremely valuable, right? And that is the reason why a lot of people watch my videos, right? That is the reason why a lot of people reach out to me, because I understand this thing, right? So whenever people are going to do that, you're literally going to build an audience of millions of people, and it will feed you with inbounds until you're going to die, right? Because like this whole process is like, this is the old acquisition method, and this all is actually the new process, the new acquisition method, right? If that makes sense. Because what you do with this is you're not creating leverage. You're actually making sure that you become rich, but whenever you don't put in the work, there's no result, right? And whenever you follow this whole process, you're able to become rich and to stay rich forever, because you've just built an audience. You're able, like, the difference is that it's not about, like, it's not important if you can book. Nobody cares if you can book in 20 calls a day. You know what creates like an insane amount of value? If you're able to book in calls whenever you want. And that is what this creates. It creates something that you're able to do anything at the time you are willing to do it, right? And this process doesn't. And this is like a sort of storage, right? But whenever you don't perform this process, you're never able to get money. So in order to get to this process, you will first need this process, right? You will first need to do outreach in order to create attention. But whenever you're going to get rid of that attention every single time, instead of stacking all that attention somewhere, that, like, on a platform that you own, you're never able to, like, you're never able to go broke, right? So it builds you an audience of millions of people, will feed you with inbounds until you die, because you have just built an audience. You're able to make money whenever you want to make money, not because you need to make money. So now you own the system, right? So you own this because, like, you're the one that owns, like, all the audiences right now, like the actual audience on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, right? So now you own the system. Let's say you do 60 days long, you do 150 outreaches a day. I'm not even talking about like 200 to 300. I'm talking about 150, worst case scenario, right? You're not able to do consistent outreach. Let's say you do 150 a day. You just reached out to 9K prospects, 9,000 prospects. Let's say 10% of all the people that you reached out to, you're able to actually give them a sales ad and they're going to join, right? So that means that whenever you do, whenever you get like 9K prospects, probably 15% will be warm lead, maybe 10%. And then maybe, let's say maybe 7.5 to 10%, you're able to provide them with a sales asset, so they're going to join your group, right? Because nobody says no to free value. So you have 900 fans, right? You have an audience of 900 people that are maybe not interested right now, right? So after 180 days of 150 outreaches a day, you have 27,000 prospects. That means you've just built up an audience of 2,700 fans, right? After a year, you've just built up an audience of 5K people, right? And these are not random people. These are people that consumed a lot of your content, right? So what it will create is an extremely amount of money, right? So let's give me an example. Let's say 5,400 potential buyers, right? Because they follow you for a reason. If they're not interested in you, after a year, they would never keep following you, right? So that means whenever you do a call to action, you get 250 inbounds, right? You book 100 calls. That's, to be honest, that's not even good, right? Because it are inbound leads. 25% closing rate. Let's say that means 25 people times an offer of 7,500. Sorry, you just made almost $200,000. Right? That means 25 people bought your main service. Of only all those people, that's not even, that's 0.5%. Don't tell me that it's not possible that 0.5% is going to buy your main program. That means you just have made almost $200,000 because you were able to get people through this door, right? You were able to instead of putting people in the trash, to letting them explore your world, right? Because people want to explore your world if you're able to give value, right? I'm able to, like, I know a lot of people are willing to explore my whole world, right? Because this is exact when you're gonna when you're gonna get access, or when you're gonna enter, when you're gonna go through like this barrier, you're gonna join my world, and that means you're gonna get a customer, right? Whenever I get you here, within 3 years, you're gonna be one of my customers. I'll guarantee you that, because I'm not gonna let you out. Like, I'm not gonna let you out. Sorry. So there's no way for you to get out of this system, right? But that's a nice story for another time. Okay, whatever. So that means that 5,400 potential customers. That means that you've just sold 25 programs. Easy. That's 0.5%. That's very easy, right? 200K. But the thing is that you have still 5,375 people to sell to, right? So that means that you're able to make millions only by leveraging sales assets in the beginning, instead of putting people in the trash, making sure you provide them with sales assets, right? So what I want you to do from now is whenever you have the feeling, or your appointment setters have the feeling that they're losing attention, provide them with fucking sales assets, guys. Whenever you don't close someone on a call, sure, don't worry about it. The only thing that you need to do is follow me on YouTube, so you're able to consume a lot of my free content. Whenever you're in the middle of a conversation, don't only follow up. Whenever they always saw the message and you follow up, you're stupid, right? They're not interested. What are you doing? You just are, you know why sometimes I think a follow-up is stupid? Because what you're doing is actually, you're saying, yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? Like, stay with me. That's what you're saying, but you're not providing any value with a follow-up. So instead of following up, send value, right? Because like, whenever you're following up, that means that you were not able to keep their attention. So that means that whenever you're gonna provide them with value, you're able to create their attention. Because like, what they're gonna do after this barrier, after this like border, whenever they enter this space, they're in your world, right? So you're not able to put them in the trash. So that means that you're going to create this for yourself. And that means that you're never, ever going to be broke again in your entire life. Simple. It's that simple. So if you're going to do, let's say even 100 outreaches a day, let's say you do, like what I said, if you start from literally zero right now, and you're doing this process, you're going to do 100 outreaches. Every single 100 is not enough, but like, maybe if you want to make 10, 20K a month, 100 is enough. But do 100 a day, every single day for 365 days, right? Whenever people are not interested, send them your sales assets, right? So that means that that means that I'll guarantee you that within the beginning of 2024, within the whole year of 2024, you're able to make 6 figures minimum. Worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario. That means whenever you do 300 outreaches and you're able to stack it up, you're gonna make millions next year. that is the way to sustain the exponential growth of your business, if that makes sense, right? So hopefully this video was valuable. I appreciate you watching this video. It was a little long, but like, this is the system that you need to follow. Okay. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you soon.